Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today, spawning in the top right as our blue Zerg player playing for Talon Esports. It's of course Dark. And in the bottom left as our red Terran for the Shopify Rebellion will be Beyond. Do we have anything interesting going on here? Well, the fact that we're playing on Dynasty is interesting. It's not a map that we very frequently see at the highest level of TVZ. We have a double expansion without any gas here. So actually, yeah, a couple of interesting things here in the first 2 minutes and 29 seconds of this game. As the Reaper makes its way across the map, it's gonna attempt to assassinate one of these drones. Drone managed to turn into a spore just in time. We'll see that cancel. Go back to mining. Beautiful stuff. Gas, about 2 minutes and 50 seconds in. This is still considered a gasless opener because this gas is late enough that the speed isn't going to be done anytime soon. So we're looking at a situation where Beyond is going to have a lot of freedom. If he ever manages to get any Hellions across the map, he's going to be capable of dealing a lot of damage with that if he bounces the Queens away. Sadly for him, it's not going to be the case because he opened up with a 2-1-1. This is a very aggressive build order, but the problem with this build is that the moment it starts dealing pressure is the moment where Dark, his investment into the no gas, into his early game eco will already have paid off. This is the dream scenario for someone that opens up without gas. Because you're going to have a better economy, but you have worse defenses against swift units that can hit multiple places at the same time. So you can struggle with high Reaper counts, you can struggle with Hellions, but you're not going to be struggling with a Marine drop that's going to be hitting at a time where you completely expect it. Dark here, already at 50 supply, has built what? 4 links so far in this game. And is now, actually going to keep this Overlord alive with just 3 HP. Gets the full scout on how many Marines this is. Should be capable of figuring out what he's actually up against. Only 4 Queens so far though. That is a little bit surprising. I'm almost expecting, a little bit of a Roach flood. I don't want to call this a Roach attack, as I'm not sure if we're really attacking quite yet. This could also be defensive Roaches, although that would be quite early for defensive Roaches. I think it's just going to be a little bit of a 9 Roach push. His goal is probably going to be to deny mining on this gold base while simultaneously hitting this spot of the map. Maybe trying to clear some of these depots. That is his plan. Just because someone has a plan doesn't mean it's going to work out. Because there are a lot of Marines out there. They're going to be moving out across the map. Dark now moving back with a bunch of his Roaches as he sends these across the map to deal with this mining. That's going to cost Beyond a lot in the income. Look at that drop instantly. 1400 minerals a minute right now. It's going to go down a little bit further. These Roaches are going to go in once more. You have this high ground drop. Roach is in position. Perhaps something at the low ground can be done. No, Queens are there. So Dark is very well prepared for this situation. We're going to have a tank now sieging up. We'll start shooting at these Roaches and they're taking a lot of damage. Marines drop down. We'll snipe 1 Queen. Maybe a second one will get taken out as well. And yep, there we go. And now Beyond's going to ping pong back up towards the north side of this base. And there's no Roaches in position. There are no Queens here either. The only Queens alive are those 2 bad boys. There are more Queens in production, but they're not out quite yet. Meanwhile, I think, we're going to have some Ravager Biles here. So what you want to do is just throw a Bile every couple of seconds and hope your opponent doesn't pay attention. Beyond wants to move further forward with tanks in that case, and then maybe with Ravagers you can do something. Both players here dishing out quite a bit of damage. 2 on another, 3 worker kills on both sides. Here comes another set of Biles. That's terrible. I actually prefer just using 1 Bile and then another Bile, because workers will need to be pulled every single time in that case. There's less of a kind of a cooldown period. We see Dark moving back. He's probably afraid of like a Marine drop catching those 2. This is not a very significant army. It's kind of a small army. Marines are going to move in, get a couple more kills here. Total Queen count is at 5. Not enough Roaches in the main to help out, but as there's not that many drones actually dying, I think this was just a fine start here for Dark. Like we look at the supply, it's 106, or actually 110 versus 87. We see quite a bit of cash still in the bank as well. 1-1 about to finish up. So upgrades are close. When it comes to the eco, I think Dark is doing much better. Especially when it comes to the worker count. Army composition-wise, I guess we could say Beyond is doing fine there. He's just adding in these tanks against the pure Roach composition, so that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think Beyond is going to die anytime soon. But I also don't really see how Beyond is going to dish out a lot of damage over the next few minutes. I am expecting still a little bit of a better eco coming in soon for Dark. I want to see more drones on the map. And I think Dark also wants to see more drones on the map. Although, now that I say it, he morphs 5 Ravagers. Perhaps an aggressive play towards this gold. Now, this gold is a double-edged sword. Because once it gets mined out, you'll see this as a potential run-by possibility. Medevac's taking quite a bit of damage. Is there a queen in the natural? No, there's not. There's one walking over right now. Well, actually, it's not going to be necessary as it just gets taken out altogether. Marine count in here, I don't think is high enough to just straight up drop into Roaches. But if they can unload somewhere else, maybe it's okay. Don't really think that Dark is going to allow that, though. Dark has a lot of cash in the bank and is only now adding in more drones. He seems to have made a decision. He wants to get some speed links out. Still going for range upgrades, though. A Hydra den and an infestation pit. So this does smell like it's going to be lurkers at some point. And although I really liked Dark's economic position about a minute and a half ago, he hadn't constructed any extra drones, so I was just fully focusing on Roaches. Now he's going to end up losing a crap ton of workers here as well. His medevac might not even get taken out, but it might also... Okay, it will get taken out. Look at that worker count, 58 to 64, now 65 to 64. We're going to have another triple drop being sent out. Marauders are already being produced as well. As the second factory is about to finish up, as the fourth flies over to, of course, the fourth base location. There's no fifth base. The creep threat isn't that great. And the tank count just kind of continues to grow. We're at 4 right now. We're going to be at 5. Then we're going to add tank number 6. 2 upgrades over halfway done as well. Like, this is not that great of a situation here for Dark anymore. Where before I was very happy with especially his economy. Right now I'm not really happy about anything. We're going to see 1 or 2 Roaches even fall here. 3 Roaches go down. And a clean pickup. I think you only end up losing maybe a single Marine there. Maybe 2 Marines. Definitely a neat little trade. Don't forget this map. There's a lot of positions here. Which can be tricky to fight against for Dark. Like, it's just lots of little chokes. Lots of neat tank spots. You see a redrop here out of Beyond. And this planetary sets up. Tank number 6 has just finished as well. We're still continuing at least out of one factory that tank production. A little bit of a supply block. More Marauder tech labs now coming in. As the first 3 Vipers are going to hit the map. Do we have a Lurker then yet? No, we don't. So it's going to be Roach, Hydra, Ling without upgrades, and Viper. I think if you max out against this and you get your tanks into not even a great position, but just a decent position, I'm having a hard time seeing how Roach Hydra is going to be the Marine Marauder tank army. That could just be me, but I don't think that is just me. Ghost Academy gets thrown down here as well. Both players now trying to fight a little bit for map control. Dark has this run-by setup. It's going to take out these rocks. You, of course, have these mineral patches now being mined out, which is just going to be so freaking frustrating. So freaking frustrating. I wonder if Beyond actually wants to move out with all of his tanks, or if he says, no, I just want to sit back, relax, start working on my ghost count as I have a 5th base on the way. You have the 3 tanks in the far back. You can wall off this area, but you can also wait until you get a planetary in this spot. Then you don't have to wall this off anymore. Like planetary here, you're going to be pretty secure. This 5th base is going to get cancelled again, by the way. So it's going to remain 4 versus 4, which is usually not a great look. Marine Marauder Force is going to go in. It's going to clear a couple of these queens, and Roach is being sent back. I don't think it's going to be enough. More units will need to go there as Vipers are in position to deal with these tanks. 2 abducts come in. Here comes the Marine Marauder flank from the north side. But I'm not sure if without tank support you can really fight into this. And feels like Beyond agrees with me. He's going to send a drop out across the map. It's going to kill a lot of workers. Good moves here. Says, hey, I can't really defend this area. What I'm going to be doing instead is I'm just going to be attacking you with my drops. As 2 more tanks are going to get abducted in. 1 more is going to pop. as the Marine Marauder flank here comes in clean. Once again, without tank support, it's going to be hard to get these very efficient fights. So far, it has actually been a fine fight. And it's actually going to continue being a fine fight as well. That surprises me at least a little bit. I did not think it was going to be that freaking efficient after fighting, honestly, without tanks majority of the time. Like, none of these tanks got like a single shot in. And the other 4 or 5 tanks just got abducted into the army instantly. Dark is going to be rebuilding 21 drones at a moment's notice. Back up to 72 because he did lose a lot of workers. But he's simply lacking that 5th base. And that's going to be a serious issue over the next few minutes. We'll see his income starting to kind of, you know, trail a little bit if he does not manage to set up this 5th. Now, of course, Bian is adding in more orbital commands. He's going to fly this base over to start mining here. He has lost mining on his gold base. I actually feel like that right now a base should be constructed here just for a planetary, so you can kind of close off this general area. You can start mining from this rich Vespine geyser, which would be great and helpful to boost that ghost count. Ghost, of course, very gas heavy. 2 orbitals now moving in forward as these tanks siege up. EMPs. No, we get snipes and missed EMP. And a couple of tank shots. Not the greatest fight there for Bian, who seemed to be in position, but didn't quite get these units microed as well as one might have expected. Planetary is set up, no sensor tower here yet, and no tanks to support either. Do believe against an army this small, the planetary is going to be just fine. I'm not so worried about all of that. What's the total tank count? We're at 6. The ghost count also continues to grow as the lurkers now hit the field. Yeah, this is a very solid position for a planetary. It really kind of seals off this spot. Sensor towers are seeing a lot of the map, of course. Links now running in. I don't really think they can do anything, though. These links are still unupgraded. No, yeah, they don't have adrenal glands. They don't have anything. They're just gonna get blasted so fast. Just gonna get destroyed without really dealing any damage. It's nice to have some links, but not like this. Lurkers now moving in. Are gonna clear this planetary, at least force a lift off. Lurker heading to the high ground as these tanks should be in range to shoot it. Sadly, there's no scan. Couple of ghost snipes coming in. 1 lurker falls. No Nidus worm with this. As ghost goes down, but so will 2 more lurkers. Yeah, there we go. Lurker's gonna get cleared here. Nothing really in the main base though to deal with that. I feel like an attack into the main could actually be quite powerful, and I mentioned this area before. I really feel like it's the moment you lose these gold patches, you're going to need such a solid setup there to deal with any type of run by that the Zerg can throw at you. That's not at all what we're seeing. We see Bian try, but trying sometimes just isn't enough. Orbital count is at 5, which is decent. Not necessarily great. Ideally, you'd be up to like 7, 8, 9 at this point. You need those scans against the lurkers. You need those mules for the extra income. Planetary definitely needs to be upgraded and repaired. Sensor tower now going down, and I think together with perhaps a turret here or there, you're just going to be fine. Sensor upstairs is coming up as well, but there are 3 Vipers, with just a single turret. These tanks could be in a little bit of trouble. Seeing melee upgrades being added into the mix. Do we get a... Ooh, we're not going to get an EMP. Instead, it was just a snipe. Now we get an EMP. Only hits 1 of them. Maybe a second Viper will get taken out here. Snipe's not great. Once again, not the cleanest micro out of Bian, although he does end up winning on both ends. It's actually 196 applied to 128. It's mainly, though, because Dark has decided... Well, Dark's been taking some bad trades, but also because Dark has decided to not spend his cash. He does have the larva available, but he's just not sure what to spend it on. $46 more links. Baneling Nest. Dark is going to try changing it up a little bit. I mean, this lurker stuff hasn't really worked out. It's funny that he was taking better trades with the Roach Hydra Viper than he's been taking with the Roach Hydra Lurker Viper. Because that's not really how it's supposed to be. I guess now that the ghost count is decent, it's much harder here for Dark to do anything. Do we have Cloak yet? Yes, we do have Cloak. There's no Overseer. And of course, Bian recognizes that instantly. Marine Marauder Ghost. Oops. Oh, big move command here. Huge blunder out of Bian. It's gonna lose a bunch of ghosts. Cloak might save 1 or 2, but I'm not even sure if these bad boys are gonna end up getting saved. Actually, they do snipe a couple of Hydras. They could just run away at this point, but Instead, we're going to see this bad boy die. That was a really poor trade here out of Beyond. He's going to lose a couple more units. Wasn't that many, but still sloppy stuff there. Out of the Korean Terran player, who's going to snipe this 7th base, I guess it is. Will get taken out. Melee attack level 2 finish up. Once again, not the cleanest exit either. This Nidus worm is going to get cleared before it gets to pop anything out. This is a scary small army. A very scary small army. Like, this is the type of army that gets surrounded and you instantly lose it. Do we still have Vipers on the map? Yeah, we have 3 new Vipers on the map. I think, yeah, all of them are new. We have Adrenal Glands, Baling Nest. Another triple drop heading towards the top side after some good scans. I think there's plenty of tanks here. I don't quite understand what Dark's plan is going to be here. Love the EMP on the Overseers as well, just in case they want to drop some Changelings. Rather be safe than sorry. A couple Changelings now coming in, should get shot. There we go. Good job there, Beyond. Doesn't want to be spotted by these. Of course, once they're in the mix, it's really hard often to figure out that that's not one of your own Marines. +2 vehicle weapons. Do we have any of them? No. We don't have the armor upgrades. We don't have the high-sec auto tracking. These really are key upgrades that we're not seeing at the moment. This base is going to be taken by Dark. That's obviously not allowed. At the same time, we have a Nidus coming up in the main. That's also obviously not allowed. Here we go. Tanks will start shooting, but as there's no mines or helmets nearby, they will end up falling against the links. So discussion. A lot of pews off. Snipes doing God's work, taking out Zerg. And overall resources lost here. Look at that, 26k to 19k. Well, I guess it's 20k as well. 26 to 20. There's a 6k difference already, and I'm having a very hard time seeing how Dark is going to take one of his opponent's bases. If you're not going to end up taking one of your opponent's bases, you're going to need to take better trades. But so far, Dark has been taking worse trades. And I think the trades are going to continue going worse and worse. Although I say that, here come a couple of snipes. A little bit of a ghost movement that I don't entirely approve of. Dark is going to run into this spot. Snipes coming down on the lurkers. 1, 2 lurkers. Well, actually, only 1 lurker ends up going down. The ghost flank is not the move here. I think that might have been an all-army hotkey. Huge blunder out of Beyond. Actually takes a significantly losing fight, loses about 2k more than his opponent, which is extremely rare to see. This was poorly controlled here, out of the Terran player, it really was. That ghost attack here initially, I think, was wild, and then the bottom one didn't really do anything, and then the top ones, they went again for another bad trade. It's like, oh, wow, that's not really how you want to do it usually, but Beyond, of course, still has a chance. He has 17 tanks, so stabilizing hopefully isn't going to be that much of an issue. He should be capable of staying alive. He has a very high orbital count, and losing a bunch of workers, although it sucks right now, it might actually help him in the long term. I say that, but this is a rough position. Everything is so split. What's the larva count? We're only at 6. I think that might be saving Beyond here. Like, if you have a reinforcing 100 links at this point, which is supply-wise, possible, it would be much harder. Yeah, the lack of larva here is truly saving Beyond. It really is saving Beyond. This lurker shoots the planetary. And this base is in mining, but I think Beyond doesn't even really care about this base or the bottom base. As long as he eventually gets up, he really should just be fine. A couple of SCVs coming up to clear this Nidus, and I mean, this lurker is gonna fall as well. We have 2 liberators now set up. I'd love to see another scan here. I'd love to see another scan up here as well. I feel like we have the orbitals available. The scans available, but they're not really being used. I see a scan here. I'm gonna see a scan here. And we have a lot of them. There we go. Finally, it does get cleared. The question now, of course, is going to be, can Beyond really stabilize? We have 9 ghosts. We have 14 tanks. A couple more ghosts on the way. I just feel like his ghost movement, especially with the bio together, has been kind of sussy. It really has been. It's not been perfect at all. It's just been tough to watch. This is a good drop, though. I love this drop. 39k to 34k. So Resource lost still in favor of Beyond, but he's lost a bunch of mining, and now we're gonna get another attack into this position. Liberators are set up, but the Hydra count is phenomenal. Look at all these bad boys. They're just moving in forward, and they're gonna clear some of these Liberators. Snipe still going down. Tanks in the back. Are they gonna be helpful? Ghost gets rallied straight into its death. Couple of tanks here. Gonna start joining the fight soon. The moment Dark moves forward. There we go. One tank goes down. No. All of these Hydras might just end up going down. Ghost once again not being optimally controlled. These Lurkers will end up getting sniped. More Lurkers will end up getting sniped. GG! What? Hey, this was a bad fight here, but... He still had 14 larvae? Maybe he didn't hotkey one of his hatcheries? No, I think he has everything hotkeyed, because all of them are producing. I guess this one isn't producing. I mean, there was a lot of cash still in the bank. The trades weren't perfect, but... Beyond wasn't even mining from this bottom base. I guess Dark wasn't mining from this top base, which does suck, but he was out mining his opponent. He had more cash in the bank. This wasn't an ideal move, but... I mean, at least he could have tried, no? It's weird, because Dark is usually a player that is very keen on trying to, you know, squeeze water from stone. And then after he squeezed the water out of the stone, then he tries again to squeeze the water out of the stone. And it already was very difficult the first time. Wild. Weird. Alright, well, that's gonna be it for me today. I hope you all did enjoy this game with the odd ending. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.